And sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes, you know, you can hear something from somebody else and you go, oh goodness. And you ask a certain woman a question and they go, here, you've got that completely wrong. But yeah,
Mm.
I would say that, sometimes it's better to talk it out than just cut off people altogether.
Yeah, I think, in some respects it would be nice if we all got on a bit better, because there would be advantages to that. You could almost piggyback on to maybe establish Substacks, and they could do maybe a guest spot within their Substack, that would be a nice thing to do. I'm not a writer myself, but there are plenty of people that have really well established Substacks that could probably afford to give, like writers up and coming, just a little bit of PR. But again, I don't know what it is in here. Everyone's kind of very hesitant to kind of help each other out sometimes when it comes to stuff like that. A bit of promotion. I don't know why. I have no idea. If I can help someone out and it's not going to be too detrimental to me, then I'll do it. I mean, you can't take all requests, but I do think we need to kind of maybe be a bit more helpful with people, come up with suggestions if you can. People there, we've had people in here that were completely and utterly pro trans people, trans women or women, true transers, all the rest of it. 20 odd years ago, I felt it was Stonewall on this issue. So when people go, oh, I've been on this for a long time, I'm like, you're fucking late to the party, because I had absolute Varney with Stonewall about this. Just, I know some people are very afraid to speak because they don't want the backlash from this individual and the group that they associate with. They don't want the doxing. They don't want the tweet after tweet after tweet and the contacting of all their friends and followers telling them all this lies. They don't want that. Now, they tried that with me and they fell flat on their face. I mean, I think I lost a few followers and then suddenly they've all come back. And that's the whole point.
Well, no, I would say it's several people. Let's
Oh,
not.
yeah. Oh, well, that's
Um,
what I meant. Well, you know what I call them. I just won't repeat it on a space. You know my pet name for them. Um, yeah, but I get why people are quiet. I do, and they don't speak out about this, and they sit quietly because they don't want bullied themselves. Me, I couldn't give a shit. I don't care enough about them, but they are so divisive for this cause, and the bullying they have done to individuals and the harm they have done to women in here is unbelievable. And none of them seem to recognise that, and no one holds them to account. No one.
Can I just say one thing? When you're saying no one holds them to account, sorry, I need to jump in. I think I'm next anyway. As I've said in the space and in my own spaces, I continuously try to hold these people to account, and it's like fucking tumbleweeds. The biggest fucking mouths have fuck all to say. When I ask a simple question or do things to call these cunts out, because don't say anybody does, they fucking run and hide and scurry like rats off a ship. You'll see them sitting in my spaces. You saw them the other night, right? Not one of them would take a mic. Not one of them would speak. Why would women who are very loud and very opinionated in every single space or in every single tweet, why is it that every time I fucking speak and I try and call them out, they won't even take a mic?
well, yeah, I mean, what we've got to remember is these spaces are different than any other network or that we've got. Um, when it comes to these spaces, anyone can come in. You don't know who's kind of popping up every 2 seconds. You've got people from America, people from Australia, people from Poland, people from Germany, people from the UK, people from Ireland, people from Northern Ireland. We've got everyone from everywhere. Um, and so these spaces are a completely different type of network than anything else we've got, because of the way in which the dynamics work.
Can I ask you a question? Because I will go down the list now, right? Just because I'm going to
Yeah,
be nurse,
you
but
can ask me a question, of course.
Right, okay, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying, oh, because you're anonymous, you're like, do you know what I mean? I've never been like that. I've always been like, you know, I support these women that are anonymous and they're usually more intelligent and they tell us what to say, and then the mouthpieces like me can go out and do it and, whatever. But um, if you're an anonymous person and you claim to have been here for years and years and years, right? But nobody's actually seen you or met you or done anything. And there's a lot of women like that, right? And it seems to be, groups of them, right? Do you think it's very fair that if you are not anonymous, if I'm coming out, do you think it's very fair that these women who have been in this fight for ages and claim to be feminists and all the rest of it, right, actually attack other women who are right out there? I just don't think it's a level like playing ground. And if you've been in the fight for so long, if nobody actually even knows who you are, why are we all believing and listening to what you say? It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. It's like the guy that's behind the curtain that nobody actually knows who you are, but everybody just listens to you anyway. But there's a handful of people that know who you are, but they're also all anonymous. So it's kind of like, so we're supposed to listen to this big group of anonymous women who nobody really knows apart from they know each other.
Um, it's a good question, and a very interesting question. At the end of the day, sometimes it's all about trust, isn't it?
No, but can I
Can I
just
get
say
in
one
cold
thing?
pressure?
Can I say one thing? And I'm going to ask Gavin this, right? Because my husband said to me, right, and I know like Gavin's covered as well, and you are Belfast or MD in the space, right? But I want to ask this, right? So I kept hearing people saying, um, women, right, feminists, PhD women, whatever, right, saying about, oh, now this woman's asking for a NDA or whatever, right? So I asked my husband and I asked, other people, right? So my husband's a businessman and he said, Amanda, I have to sign NDAs every other day, right? Um, none. He said we're actually usually sign an NCNDA, which means a non-competitor.
Non-competition agreement. Yeah.
Yep, right. So he's like,
Sorry,
so
could
if
you repeat
I'm,
that because you were talking over each other?
yeah,
NCDA, what does that mean?
Gav, can you do it?
NCA, non-competitive agreement.
And that makes sense. And I
Yeah.
know that that is
So I was
maybe
speaking to
advice.
my, yeah,
That's
so I was speaking
maybe
to my
advice that
husband,
might
and
have been
he
given to somebody
and he said,
somewhere.
yeah, but what I mean is, all these women who have absolutely, they say they've got a clue what they're talking about, right? But they clearly don't, because I've been influenced by them for a long time, right? And now I'm questioning them. So now I'm like, normally I would swallow it up and go, they know what they're talking about. Now I'm like to my husband and that, hold on a minute, right? These women that keep fucking bullying everybody else, right? They're now bullying this fucking woman. That's the way I feel, right? I'm like, and they're talking about non-disclosures and this and that and whatever. So I'm going to ask him because he's like, I have to fill them in every second day, and every other day I have to get other people to sign them for me because he's a project. He does so much different shit. It's all to do with business, building projects, ideas, whether it's fucking villas, pubs, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But you don't just like, throw your shit out there.
Um, please
Right,
go ahead.
anyway, it's fucking Stop Lion's turn.
I'm trying to think how to say this without bitching. Because I just wanted to say like what Amanda brought up about there are
You
women
can say
who
whatever you like, John. If you want to argue with me, go ahead.
okay. Yeah, those women were blocking so many women. It was when I first came to Twitter and went into a space and I was blocked by one of them and I commented in a thread and was blocked by the other. And it was because the man they were having as co-host had a list of women that he didn't like and anyone associated with those women, which I was.
Hoo hoo. Interesting take. Um, I'm also friends with Mark again. Um, so there you go. Turn out for the books.
Sucks to be you.
Sucks to be me.
Nobody in this movement is a fucking sacred cunt.
No, certainly not. And what I would also say is nobody gets to decide who speaks to whoever. Um, so always remember you can be recorded, even if you're not recording. But if anybody wants to speak, I'd be happy to hear you before I close. No, she's gone. But thank you, ladies, for all attending. I really appreciate it. I'm sure some people will have some things to say about it, but you know, if you've got a problem with me, talk to me. If you've got a problem with somebody else, talk to somebody else. That's the way it works.